How would you feel if I were to tell you that your use of electronics has contributed to health and environmental hazards in developing countries around the world? Hi, my name's Dan Backman. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the ethics of recycling, in particular e-waste. I'm going to talk about today's technology environment, what e-waste is, where it goes, and those effects of the e-waste, as well as corporation challenges and responsibility matters. And I'm also going to offer my recommendations for these problems. Today's world of electronics is a very fast-paced, fast-changing environment. It's very highly competitive with a wide range of different electronics that are available today. And items become obsolete very quickly nowadays because of the rapid pace of innovation as well as the constant demand from us, the consumer. Just think about how many cell phones you've gone through in your entire life. To further understand why this is such a fast-paced environment, we can take a look at the product life cycle. As you can see from the moment of introduction, it has a rapid increase in sales almost to the top, and then it slowly declines until the end of its life. E-waste is defined as loosely discarded, surplus, obsolete, or broken electrical or electronic devices. In the United States, this accounts for about 5% of our municipal waste. And e-waste has the highest growth rate of all municipal waste. Another thing is that it accounts for 70% of the toxic waste that is in landfills. There's many various toxic components that are in e-waste: monitors, circuit boards, batteries, laptops, and peripherals. These chemicals such as lead, beryllium, mercury, nickel, and zinc all have serious hazards that come along with them. Once a consumer or a business recycles or disposes of e-waste properly via recycling, only 20% of that is actually recycled. The other 80% is sent overseas and sold to developing countries around the world to be processed. This practice is highly illegal at all international levels. This e-waste is sold to countries like Ghana, India, Pakistan, and China, where workers will dismantle this e-waste for work. The effects of e-waste can be very detrimental. These workers are doing this as a means of survival, so they're not going to take the most proactive safety precautions. A country's environment is at risk via atmosphere, rivers, lakes, which eventually would get into the drinking water. One instance in particular would be workers over there would melt down the lead in circuit boards, and they would use the same pot they would later cook their meals in. The town of Gayu in China is the e-waste capital of the world. It has the highest level of cancer-causing toxins in the world, as well as pregnancies in this area are 6 times more likely to miscarriage. 7 out of 10 kids have too much lead in their blood in this area. Corporations have to take certain actions. Apple, prior in the early 2000s, had been regarded as a company that hadn't been taking enough stances to address these issues. But in recent years, they've offered take-back programs, informed the customers of these programs, as well as improved environmental practices. A company's approach to recycling and its marketing impact is a very big deal. When it comes to image, that can be a company's competitive advantage at some times, and you really need to uphold that image in order to be successful. You need to align your image with your values and beliefs and missions of the company, and make sure that they're in place together so that what you're saying makes sense with each other. There's some recycling companies out there that you can't trust. 60 Minutes did a report on Executive Recycling, a company that promised that they were doing all their recycling in-house in the U.S. Upon further investigation, they found that one of the shipping containers there was being sent to Hong Kong. So you don't really know where the recycling material goes. This is unfortunately not uncommon, as 42 other companies would agree to do the same from a federal sting that was set up. And it goes to ask who is responsible. You can't really put a finger on who's responsible, so it's pretty spread out. If the workers in these countries didn't have this industry, they might not be able to eat. Some recommendations I would offer would be to give incentives to those who recycle or penalties for those who don't, higher regulations on what exactly leaves the United States as well as other countries. Constant evaluations would be well too. To wrap up, we're just going to go over what I just talked about, the technology environment, how fast-paced it was, what e-waste is, the corporations and the marketing impact, as well as the responsibilities and those recommendations that I just said. Thanks.